Hey Pisces, I need to share something with you today that honestly gave me chills when these cards came through. So grab your coffee or tea, get comfortable, because what I'm about to share with you is something you absolutely need to hear. Before we dive in, I just want to say that if this resonates with you, go ahead and let me know in the comments. I always love hearing from you all, and honestly, your stories help me understand these energies better too. So let's get into this. The energy around you right now, Pisces, is honestly unlike anything I've seen in a while. There's this sense that something has been happening behind the scenes, something dark, something that was meant to harm you. And I know that might sound dramatic, but stay with me because the cards are showing me something very specific here. Someone, or maybe multiple people, have been working against you in ways that go beyond normal jealousy or competition. This is something deeper, something that crossed lines that should never be crossed. I'm pulling the first card here, and wow, okay. The Five of Pentacles just came through, and I need to take a moment with this because the energy is intense. This card traditionally shows hardship, being left out in the cold, feeling abandoned or struggling. But in the context of what we're looking at today, this card is showing me something very specific about what has been directed at you. The Five of Pentacles here is revealing that someone has been actively trying to push you into a state of lack. Not just financial lack, though that could be part of it, but emotional, spiritual, energetic lack. They wanted to see you struggle. They wanted to see you alone. They wanted to watch you suffer. And I'm so sorry you've had to deal with this energy, Pisces. What's really coming through strongly with this card is that whoever did this, they didn't just think negative thoughts about you or gossip behind your back. No, this goes deeper. The Five of Pentacles in this position is showing me that they went to dark places to try to make this happen. And I mean genuinely dark places, spiritual places that most people wouldn't even think to access, places that require you to let go of your own light to even enter. I'm seeing that they might have worked with energies that are meant to bind, to restrict, to limit. The kind of work that requires calling on things that should be left alone. And here's what's really important for you to understand, Pisces. When you're a being of light, when you operate from a place of genuine kindness and compassion, like so many of you Pisces do, you're protected in ways that people who operate in darkness cannot touch. They don't understand this. They think everyone plays by the same rules they do. The Five of Pentacles is also showing me isolation. They wanted to isolate you, cut you off from your support systems, from your opportunities, from your abundance, from your joy. I'm seeing images of someone literally trying to close doors in your face, trying to make sure you couldn't access what was meant for you. And for a while, you might have felt this. You might have felt like things were just harder than they should be, like you were walking uphill when everyone else seemed to be on flat ground. But here's what they didn't understand, and this is where the reading starts to shift. The Five of Pentacles shows two figures outside in the cold, but there's a church window right behind them with light shining through. The help, the warmth, the sanctuary is right there. It's always been right there. You just had to turn around and see it. And you did, didn't you? Even in your hardest moments, you found that light. You found that connection. You kept going. What I'm also getting with this Five of Pentacles is that their attempt to harm you actually revealed something to you about who they really are. Sometimes the greatest gift someone can give you is showing you their true nature. Now you know. Now you see clearly, and that clarity, as painful as it might have been to receive, is actually protecting you moving forward. Let me pull the next card because I need to see how this energy is shifting. Oh, this is interesting. The Queen of Pentacles is coming through, and I'm getting goosebumps because this is showing me who you really are versus who they tried to make you into. The Queen of Pentacles is you, Pisces. This is your energy. This queen is abundant, grounded, nurturing, connected to the earth and to the spiritual realms in a healthy, balanced way. She takes care of herself and others. She builds real, lasting security through honest work and genuine connections. She's the opposite of the Five of Pentacles energy they tried to curse you with. What's coming through really strongly is that they saw your light, your abundance, your natural ability to manifest and create, and they wanted it. But more than that, they wanted to extinguish it. The Queen of Pentacles represents someone who has worked hard for what they have, who has built their life on solid foundations. And I'm seeing that someone looked at what you have, what you've built, what you are, and they felt such intense envy that it turned into something ugly. The Queen of Pentacles is also showing me that you're someone who operates with integrity. You don't cut corners, you don't harm others to get ahead, you build things the right way, even when it's harder, even when it takes longer. And that kind of energy, that kind of light, it's actually offensive to people who operate in darkness. It reminds them of what they're not, of what they've chosen not to be. I'm also seeing with this Queen of Pentacles that you have a very specific kind of spiritual protection. Pisces, you're a water sign, you're intuitive, you're connected to the unseen realms naturally, but you don't misuse that connection. You don't weaponize your spiritual gifts. And that matters. That matters so much in terms of what's coming for you and what's coming for them. The Queen of Pentacles sits on her throne in a garden, surrounded by abundance and life. Everything around her is thriving. And I'm being shown that no matter what they tried to do, they couldn't kill your garden. They couldn't stop things from growing in your life. They might have delayed some things, they might have made things harder for a season, but they couldn't actually stop the natural flow of abundance that moves through you. What's also really important here is that the Queen of Pentacles represents someone who is comfortable in the material world, but not enslaved by it. You understand that there's more to life than what we can see and touch, but you also take care of your physical needs and responsibilities. This balance, this is what they don't have. They're either completely disconnected from spiritual reality, or they're misusing spiritual power for material gain. Neither path leads anywhere good. Let me pull the next card because I need to see what exactly they did. What did they think would work against you? The Ten of Pentacles just came through, and this is making so much sense now. Oh, Pisces, they went after your legacy. They went after your family. They went after your long-term security and stability. The Ten of Pentacles represents generational wealth, family, legacy, long-term stability, the things we build that last beyond our own lifetime. And I'm seeing that someone looked at what you're building, looked at the life you're creating, looked at the stability and security you're manifesting, and they wanted to destroy it. They wanted to make sure you couldn't pass anything on. They wanted to cut off your lineage, your legacy. This is really dark energy, Pisces. And I want you to understand that when someone goes to these lengths, when they try to curse not just you, but your entire bloodline, your future, everything you might create, it tells you how threatened they feel by your existence. It tells you how much power they know you have. Because you don't try to destroy someone unless you're genuinely afraid of what they might become. The Ten of Pentacles in this position is showing me that they might have even involved other people who have passed on. This card often represents ancestors and those who came before us. And I'm seeing that in their desperation to harm you, they might have tried to invoke energies or spirits. They might have tried to form pacts or agreements with forces they didn't understand. And this is where they made their biggest mistake. Here's something most people don't understand about spiritual warfare and dark magic and all of that. It only works if you're operating on the same frequency as the person doing the work. If you're a being of light, if you're protected by higher forces, if you walk in alignment with something greater than yourself, those dark energies can't actually touch you. They bounce back. They return to sender. And anyone caught in between, anyone who agreed to help harm you, they get hit too. The Ten of Pentacles is also showing me that you have ancestral protection that you might not even be fully aware of. Your bloodline, your ancestors, the people who came before you, they're watching over you. And when someone tries to harm their descendant, when someone tries to cut off the line, those protective forces activate in ways that are honestly terrifying if you're on the wrong side of them. I'm also seeing with this Ten of Pentacles that part of what they wanted was to take what you have and make it theirs. Not just destroy it, but actually transfer it. Like they could just steal your blessings, your destiny, your path. And that's not how any of this works. You can't take someone else's destiny. You can't steal someone else's blessings. All you can do is curse yourself by trying. Let me pull another card because I want to see the mechanism. How did they think this would work? What did they actually do? The Eight of Wands is coming through, and wow, okay, this is showing me speed and intensity. Whatever they sent at you, they sent it fast, and they sent a lot of it. The Eight of Wands represents swift action, things moving quickly, messages or energy flying through the air. And in this context, I'm seeing that they launched multiple attacks. This wasn't just one moment of anger or one spell or one curse. This was sustained. This was intentional. This was planned and executed with focus. I'm seeing arrows flying through the air, all aimed at one target, you. And the thing about the Eight of Wands is that it represents energy that's already been released. It's in motion. It's on its way. There's no calling it back, and I think when they sent this energy at you, they felt powerful. They felt like they had done something significant. They probably celebrated. They probably felt like they had won. The Eight of Wands is also showing me that this might have manifested as multiple problems hitting you at once. Like suddenly everything was going wrong. Your health, your finances, your relationships, your work, everything seemed to fall apart simultaneously. And that's not coincidence, Pisces. That's coordinated. That's someone trying to overwhelm you, trying to make sure you couldn't recover from one blow before the next one hit. What's really coming through with this Eight of Wands is the element of surprise. They tried to catch you off guard. They waited for a moment when they thought you were vulnerable, when your defenses were down, when you wouldn't see it coming. And maybe they did surprise you. Maybe things hit you so fast you didn't have time to process what was happening. But here's what the Eight of Wands is also telling me. Energy that moves this fast, that's launched with this much force, it has to go somewhere. It has to land. And if it can't land on its intended target because that target is protected, it returns to the sender with equal force. Every single arrow. I'm also seeing with this Eight of Wands that there was communication involved. Maybe they talked about you, spread rumors, tried to poison other people against you. The Eight of Wands can represent messages, and I'm seeing a campaign to destroy your reputation, to make sure other people saw you the way they wanted you to be seen rather than the way you actually are. Let me pull the next card because we need to see what's happening now. What's the current energy? The Nine of Wands just came through, and yes, this makes perfect sense. You're exhausted, aren't you, Pisces? You're tired. You've been fighting, you've been defending yourself, you've been holding the line, and you're just tired. The Nine of Wands shows a figure who has been through battle. They're wounded, they're weary, but they're still standing. They're still holding their wand, still ready to defend if they need to. And that's you right now. You've been through something intense, something that would have destroyed a lot of people, but you're still here. You're still standing. What's coming through really strongly with this Nine of Wands is that you've had to be strong for so long. You've had to be vigilant, had to watch your back, had to protect yourself, and it's exhausting living like that. Even when you win, even when you survive, there's a cost to constant defense. There's a weariness that sets into your bones when you've had to fight battles you never asked for. The Nine of Wands is also showing me that you might be hesitant to fully relax or celebrate yet. You're still waiting for the next attack. You're still braced for the next blow. And I get that. I really do. When you've been through what you've been through, when people have come at you with the intensity that you've experienced, it's hard to let your guard down. But here's what else the Nine of Wands is telling me. You're almost through this. The 9 is the second to last number in the suit. You're not at the beginning anymore. You're not even in the middle. You're near the end. One more step, one more card, and you're at completion. You're at victory. You're at the place where you can finally rest. I'm also seeing with this Nine of Wands that you've learned something incredibly valuable through this experience. You've learned what you're made of. You've learned that you're stronger than you thought. You've learned that you can survive things that would break other people. And that knowledge, that's power that no one can ever take from you. The Nine of Wands is showing me that you've also learned to trust your instincts in a deeper way. You know now when something is off. You can feel it when energy shifts. You can sense danger before it arrives. That's not paranoia, Pisces. That's wisdom earned through experience. That's your spiritual gifts sharpening through use. What's also coming through is that the very fact that you're still standing, the very fact that you made it through this, is already proof that they failed. They threw everything they had at you, and you're still here. You're wounded, yes. You're tired, yes. But you're alive, you're intact, your spirit is unbroken, and they cannot stand that. Let me pull another card because I want to see what happens next. I want to see the shift. The Three of Pentacles just came through, and oh, this is beautiful. This is showing me that you're about to enter a phase of rebuilding, but not alone. The Three of Pentacles represents collaboration, teamwork, building something with others who have real skill and real integrity. And I'm seeing that as you emerge from this battle, as you start to recover and rebuild, the right people are going to show up. The right support is going to arrive. The right opportunities are going to open. What's really interesting about the Three of Pentacles in this position is that it's showing me that part of what they tried to do was isolate you, keep you from forming alliances, keep you from building teams, keep you alone. And that's failing, that's backfiring. Because people who operate in integrity recognize each other. People who have real skill and real talent, they find each other, and you're finding your people. The Three of Pentacles also represents mastery and skill. It shows someone who knows their craft, who has put in the time, who has developed real ability, and that's you, Pisces. Whatever you do, whatever your gifts are, you're good at it. You've worked for it. You've earned your expertise, and that's something they can't take from you and they can't replicate. I'm seeing with this Three of Pentacles that you're going to be building something new, not rebuilding what was broken, but creating something even better, something stronger, something that's protected in ways your previous foundations weren't. Because now you know, now you see, now you understand what needs to be protected and how to protect it. The Three of Pentacles is also showing me recognition coming your way. The card shows someone's work being observed and appreciated by others. And I'm seeing that people are starting to see what you've been going through. They're starting to understand what you've survived. And they're amazed, they're impressed, they're realizing that you're not someone to be underestimated. What's also coming through with this Three of Pentacles is that you're being called to work with others who operate on your level. Not people who will drain you or use you or try to take from you, but people who match your energy, who contribute equally, who bring their own skills and resources to the table. These are collaborations built on mutual respect and shared vision. Let me pull the next card because I need to see what's happening on their side. What are they experiencing right now? The Devil card just came through, and yeah, this is exactly what I expected to see. They're trapped, they're bound, they're caught in the very energy they tried to send at you. The Devil represents bondage, addiction, being trapped by your own choices and your own shadow. And I'm seeing that whatever they did, whatever dark agreements they made, whatever entities they called on, they can't escape it now. They're bound to it, they're chained to it, and it's consuming them. Here's what people don't understand about working with dark forces. They're not your friends, they're not your allies, they don't care about you. They will use you just as surely as you think you're using them. And once you open that door, once you make those agreements, they don't just go away when you're done. They stay, they follow you, they own a piece of you. The Devil in this position is showing me that they're experiencing the very things they tried to curse you with. The isolation, the lack, the fear, the paranoia, all of it. It's their reality now. They're living in the hell they tried to create for you. And the worst part is, they did it to themselves. Nobody forced them to go down this path. They chose it. I'm also seeing with the Devil that they might be experiencing some kind of spiritual oppression or attachment. When you invite dark energies in, when you work with forces that are meant to harm, those forces don't differentiate. They'll harm whoever is closest, whoever is most vulnerable, and right now that's them. They made themselves vulnerable by making these choices. The Devil is also showing me obsession. They can't stop thinking about you. They can't stop watching you. They can't stop trying to figure out why their curses didn't work, why you're still standing, why you're still blessed. And that obsession is eating them alive. It's consuming their thoughts, their energy, their life force. They're trapped in a prison of their own making. What's really coming through strongly is that the Devil represents choice. Those figures on the card, they have loose chains. They could leave if they wanted to, but they don't want to. They've become addicted to the darkness. They've become comfortable in their own toxicity. And that's actually more binding than any external force could be. I'm also seeing that the Devil represents materialism and trying to control outcomes through force rather than allowing divine flow. They wanted to force their will onto your reality. They wanted to manipulate circumstances to serve their agenda. And that's just not how the universe works. You can't force your will onto someone who is protected by higher forces. All you can do is put yourself in opposition to those higher forces, and that never ends well. Let me pull another card because I want to see the timeline. When does this come full circle? The Chariot just came through, and this is showing me movement, victory, and divine timing working in your favor. The Chariot represents controlled movement, victory through willpower and alignment, successfully navigating opposing forces. And in this context, I'm seeing that everything that was set in motion against you is now being redirected. The wheels are turning, the Chariot is moving, but it's not going where they thought it would go. What's really powerful about the Chariot in this position is that it shows someone who has mastered opposing forces. The traditional image shows someone controlling two sphinxes, one black and one white, pulling in different directions. But the charioteer keeps them balanced, keeps them moving forward together, and that's the energy you're stepping into, Pisces. The Chariot is showing me that you're taking control of this narrative. You're not a victim anymore. You're not just surviving anymore. You're driving, you're directing, you're choosing where this goes next. And they have no say in it. They're just watching from the sidelines, trapped in their own consequences, while you move forward into your victory. I'm also seeing with the Chariot that this is about momentum. Once the Chariot starts moving, it's hard to stop. And I'm seeing that you're entering a phase where things start to move quickly in your favor. Opportunities, blessings, recognition, abundance, all of it starts flowing at a pace that might even surprise you. That's the backflow. That's all the energy they sent at you returning as blessings. The Chariot also represents protection during travel or transition. And I'm seeing that as you move forward, as you step into this next chapter, you're protected, you're covered. Nothing can touch you the way they tried to touch you before. You've been battle tested, you've been through the fire, and what emerges from fire is either ash or something that's been purified and strengthened. You're the latter. What's also coming through with the Chariot is that this victory is hard won. It's not given. It's earned through perseverance, through staying aligned, through refusing to lower yourself to their level. You could have fought back with the same dark tactics they used. You could have gone into the shadows and matched them curse for curse. But you didn't. You stayed in your integrity, and that's why the Chariot is yours. That's why the victory is yours. Let me pull the next card because I need to see what the final outcome is. What happens to them? The Tower just came through, and honestly, Pisces, I had to take a moment when I saw this because the energy is intense. Everything they built on lies, everything they built on darkness, everything they built on trying to harm others, it's coming down, and it's coming down hard. The Tower represents sudden, dramatic destruction of false structures. It shows lightning striking a tower, people falling, everything that was built on unstable foundations crumbling, and that's what's happening to them. That's what's about to happen or what has already started happening. Here's what's important to understand about the Tower. It only destroys what isn't built on truth. If your life is built on integrity, if your foundations are solid, if your structures are sound, the Tower doesn't touch you. But if you've built your life on lies, on manipulation, on harming others, on dark agreements and false power, the Tower comes for all of it. I'm seeing that they're about to experience or are already experiencing a complete collapse of everything they thought was secure. Their relationships might fall apart, their finances might crumble, their reputation might be exposed for what it really is, their health might fail. Everything hits at once, just like they tried to make everything hit you at once with that Eight of Wands energy. But there's a difference. You survived your storm. They won't survive theirs. Not in the same way, not intact. The Tower is also showing me that the truth is coming out. Whatever they did in secret, whatever they thought they could hide, it's being exposed. The lightning that strikes the Tower represents divine truth, cosmic justice, the light of revelation shining into dark places. And you can't hide from that. You can't lie your way out of it. You can't manipulate your way past it. What's really powerful about the Tower in this position is that it's showing me this isn't just earthly consequences. This isn't just karma in the general sense. This is spiritual reckoning. This is what happens when you go to war with a being of light and you use dark forces to do it. Those forces turn on you. Those agreements come due. Those debts get collected. I'm also seeing with the Tower that they're going to understand, probably for the first time, what they actually did, what they actually invoked, what they actually set in motion. And that realization, that understanding, it's going to be more terrifying than any external consequence. Because they're going to see themselves clearly. They're going to see what they've become, and they're not going to like what they see. The Tower also represents liberation through destruction. And while this is catastrophic for them, it's actually necessary. Sometimes the only way to free someone from their own darkness is to destroy everything that darkness built. Maybe after everything falls, after they've lost it all, they'll have a chance to rebuild on real foundations, or maybe they won't. That's their choice, their journey. Let me pull one final card because I want to see where you specifically go from here, Pisces. What's your path forward after all of this? The Hermit just came through, and this is absolutely beautiful. This is showing me wisdom, introspection, becoming the light that guides others. The Hermit stands alone on a mountaintop, holding a lantern that contains a 6-pointed star. This is someone who has climbed the mountain, who has gained wisdom through experience, who now carries light that can guide others through darkness. And that's you, Pisces. That's who you're becoming through this experience. What's really profound about the Hermit in this position is that it's showing me you're not going to become bitter. You're not going to become dark. You're not going to let what happened to you turn you into something you're not. Instead, you're going to become wiser. You're going to become more discerning. You're going to become someone who can help others navigate similar darkness because you've been there and you found your way through. The Hermit also represents taking time for yourself. After everything you've been through, you need that. You need space to process, to heal, to integrate these lessons. You need time away from the noise, away from people who don't understand, away from having to explain or defend or prove anything to anyone. And that's okay. That's not isolation. That's self-care. That's wisdom. I'm seeing with the Hermit that you're going to develop or deepen a spiritual practice that grounds you, something that connects you to Source, to your higher self, to the divine protection that's always been around you, but that you might not have been fully aware of before. This experience woke something up in you. It activated gifts you didn't know you had. It showed you the reality of spiritual warfare and spiritual protection. The Hermit is also showing me that you're going to be very selective about who you let into your space going forward. You've learned the hard way that not everyone means well. That some people smile in your face while cursing you behind your back, that some people will pretend to be your friend while actively working to destroy you. And now you know how to see through that. Now you know what to look for. Now you trust your intuition when it says someone is off. What's also coming through with the Hermit is that your light is going to shine brighter after this, not in a flashy way, not in a loud way, but in a steady, undeniable way. Like that lantern the Hermit holds. It's not a bonfire. It's not trying to light up the whole sky. But in the darkness, it's exactly what people need to find their way. And you're going to be that for others. The Hermit represents someone who has done the inner work, who has faced their shadows, who has integrated their experiences into wisdom. And I'm seeing that this entire ordeal, as painful as it's been, is actually accelerating your spiritual evolution. You're learning lessons in months that would normally take years. You're developing gifts that would normally take decades. You're becoming who you were always meant to be, just faster than you expected. So let me bring all of this together for you, Pisces, because I want you to really understand what these cards are showing. Someone or some people came after you with dark intentions. They tried to use spiritual warfare. They tried to invoke entities and energies that should be left alone. They tried to curse your abundance, your legacy, your entire bloodline. They hit you with multiple attacks simultaneously, trying to overwhelm you and destroy you. But here's what they didn't know. You're not just anyone. You're a being of light. You're protected by forces they can't understand and can't touch. And when you operate from integrity, when you walk in alignment with something greater than yourself, dark magic can't land on you. It just bounces back to the sender. So now they're trapped in the devil energy, bound to the very darkness they tried to send at you. Their tower is falling. Everything they built on lies and manipulation and harm is crumbling. And meanwhile, you're moving forward in the chariot, protected and guided, stepping into wisdom and purpose as the Hermit. You've been through the 9 of Wands energy, that exhaustion, that weariness from constant battle. But you're about to emerge. You're about to step into the 3 of Pentacles, building something new with people who deserve to be in your life. You're reclaiming the Queen of Pentacles energy that's naturally yours, that abundance and groundedness and integrity that they tried so hard to take from you. And the beautiful thing, the thing that I really want you to hear is that you never stopped being who you are. They threw everything at you, and you're still standing in your truth. You're still operating from integrity. You're still a being of light. They couldn't change you. They couldn't corrupt you. They couldn't make you like them. And that's the real victory here. I want you to know that you're safe now. Whatever protection was already around you has been strengthened through this experience. You're more aware now. You're more discerning now. You know what to watch for. And the universe, source, God, whatever you call it, that force knows what you've been through, and it's actively working to restore what was taken and multiply what remains. Take your time in that hermit energy. Don't rush back into the world. Let yourself heal. Let yourself process. Let yourself integrate these lessons at your own pace. And when you're ready, when that lantern is burning steady and bright, you'll know it's time to come back down the mountain and share what you've learned. If this resonated with you, Pisces, if any of this connected with your experience, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. And if you know another Pisces who needs to hear this message, please share this with them. Sometimes we need confirmation that we're not crazy, that what we experienced was real, that we're not alone in navigating these kinds of challenges. Remember, you're stronger than you know, you're more protected than you realize, and you're exactly where you need to be. Everything that happened, happened for a reason, and that reason is becoming clearer every day. Take care of yourself, Pisces. You deserve rest, you deserve peace, you deserve all the abundance and blessings that are already on their way to you.